Country Cover Club, the country sports insurance company, has become the new sponsor of Country Sports TV. If you would like affordable country sports insurance, please click on the link below. If you add the code SUMMERALL2, you will get a £3 discount. Thank you very much to Country Cover Club for their sponsorship of Country Sports TV. 3 months on, we've had lockdown, no haircut, as you can see. I think wife has said that she is now going to get the dog clippers out. So, hopefully next time we have a video, I'm going to have shorter hair. It's now beginning to annoy me and get in the way. Let's put my headphones on a minute. Morning all, welcome to Country Sports TV and our little chats. What I'd like to talk to you today about is big bags. Now, we have big bags for pheasant shooting and we have big bags pigeon shooting. Now, as shooters, you know, it would be lovely to be able to afford £1,000, £1,500, £2,000 for a day's pheasant shooting on a peg. And shoot, you know, a large number of birds. But a lot of us haven't got that sort of money. But people in shooting are frowning on people spending money, which is keeping our industry going, and shooting large amounts of pheasants. Yet on the other hand, you look all over social media and magazines, we praise pigeon shooters for shooting 100, 150, 200 birds in a day. Is this not double standards? You know, think about it. You're still shooting big bags. Now, if we look at pheasant shooting, there are two things afoot there. And it's mostly political. You've got the likes of Mr. Packham and crowd that think that pheasants shouldn't be bred and they shouldn't be released into the wilds and we should have a license for it. But what they forget is that the old way of doing it, and which is still done today, but a more commercial setting, is that before you can release pheasants, you have to breed them. And if you're going to breed pheasants, you need pheasant eggs to put in an incubator. And where do pheasants' eggs come from? They come from the hen pheasant. So you bring in hen pheasants and put them in a pen. Now, I'm only talking about small shoots and the old way of doing it now. I don't know how the big commercial shoots do it now. But what you have is a small release pen with a number of hen pheasants in it and some cockbirds. The cockbirds have fun with the ladies. They produce fertilised eggs. And you collect the eggs up and the hens keep laying. And you put those in the incubator and that produces your pheasants for the next year. We cannot rely on pheasants to produce enough birds to shoot in the wild. So we're collecting wild birds, which are out on the shoot. We're letting them lay eggs. We're then collecting those eggs and turning them into chicks, into poults, and then releasing them. So we're not really releasing birds into the wild because they were already wild to start with. All we're doing is giving them a chance to breed. They will not breed successfully in a lot of the shoots around here in Somerset. We have got so many predators that pheasants find it very hard to produce young in the wild. Down on the moors, if you've got a shoot and a small woodland, you've got... The predators are unbelievable. You've got foxes, badgers, carrion crows, rooks, magpies, jays, and mink. Mink have devastated the wildlife in Somerset. You know, I've got small rivers down below me on the Somerset. I'm in North Somerset, on the north side of the Somerset levels. But it stretches from here around Weston-super-Mare and goes all the way down to Bridgewater. And it's all flat land. In the old days, they used to drop the skaters off at the railway stations in Nelsey, Yatton, Weston, you know, and they used to skate over the ice in the winter before the turn of the century and afterwards and between the wars. When I started living here, which is my grandfather's house, there was a pair of old skates in the shed that he used to use and skate on the moors. So I'm on the lower lane, but on the higher ground, they may not have the mink problem, but they're going to have the magpies and the crows and the rooks and the foxes and the badgers. Well, very few places now are calling badgers. So badger numbers have grown out of all proportion that anyone's ever seen. Fox control is not what it used to be because we haven't got the keepers. So pheasants cannot breed successfully in the wild. So we have to bring the hen pheasants in, let them lay eggs, and then produce the poults on top of that. So this idea of having licenses to release wild birds into the wild is absolutely crazy. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, on the other hand, they're saying, oh, you're shooting too many birds. Now, there's two reasons for this. One, they want to reduce the number of birds that are shot so that you don't have large bags. And that's because the antis want to have a go at what they see as posh people that can afford to shoot. That's a form of discrimination. You know, you can't have a go at somebody because they've got money. If they didn't have money, they wouldn't be able to pay me for doing my work. I've got to repair the guns that they use. And if they don't go shooting, they're not going to have the guns and I'm not going to have work. I'm not a rich guy. I work with my hands. And the money I earn is from honest labour. But if these guys want to go shooting and can afford it, look at the industry that they produce. Millions and millions in this country. They go down onto Exmoor and they go up north, up to the grouse shooting. They have hotels, they have travel costs. So you've got the hotel staff, then you've got the beaters, the keepers. Everything's involved, and they're allowing us, the ordinary guy, the serfs, if you like, to raise, to earn some money so that we can live. If you take the big guys out, the little guys don't get any money. No, they haven't quite grasped how economics works in this country. And the other reason they want to stop big bags is because they say they can't sell the pheasants. Well, yeah, that's true. That's a point. But people don't want to be fussed with being given a pheasant, having to gut it, having to pluck it, and then cook it. They want to be able to go to a supermarket and pick the bird up like a chicken, already clean and ready to put in the oven. Now, I like pheasant. It's a bit darker meat, a bit gamey, but I like pheasant. But over time, people have forgotten how to eat game. And what we need to do is to promote the eating of game. Now, if you say, right, we can't, the other problem we've got is they're saying, oh, you can't sell lead shot game. Why? Because some stupid Burke in a shooting organisation agreed with the WWT that lead fragments, which it does not when it hits the bird, and pollutes and contaminates the meat. Absolute poppycock. Absolute load of bullshit. The lead stays solid. And they tried to promote this by an X-ray of a partridge. And they said that the fragments on there are fragments of lead. The lead shot can be seen all nice and round, so it hasn't broken off. And believe it or not, I trained to read X-rays by the Department of the Environment. When I worked in the Department of the Environment for 6 years, we were trained to read X-rays. And my interpretation of the X-rays are that the broken bits on the X-ray are the bone. They are not the lead. And what happens is, when you shoot a bird up high, and it comes down and hits the ground, it breaks arms and the wings. And they shatter. So it may not be the lead that's causing the breakage, it could be the fall of the bird. And then you've got pigeon shooting. Why do we want to shoot so many pigeons? And then we hail it at somebody when they've got a great big bag. God, I had 180, I had 200. I've had big bag days. I got a couple in my book. The Art of Decoying Pigeons and Corvids. But I go out pigeon shooting, I might only get 10 or 15 birds, and I've had a wonderful day. I'd normally go around about 30 or 40 birds. But I don't like shooting a great big bag of birds because I don't want to dump them. I had game dealers when I was regularly shooting. I had game dealers take the birds off of me, which helped pay for the cartridges. But if I'm going out shooting for myself, 20 or 30 birds is enough for me. That's a good few hours shooting, maybe 4 or 5 hours. I can put them in the freezer and we can use them. So, the other thing is, I've just thought of this. Now, I'm thinking on the sly here. Normally I drop notes down of things to say and where I'm going to go. But I've just thought of something. If we can sell pigeons that are lead shot in London, in the big restaurants and that, I got game dealers phoning me up saying, we want more pigeons, and at the time, a couple of years ago, we had no pigeons around here. So we weren't shooting the big bags. So we couldn't sell them. But if they can sell pigeons that are lead shot to the restaurants in London, what's the problem with selling pheasants that are lead shot? Where has that come from? Now, if I sat down for a meal, do I want lead shot game or steel shot game? Lead shot game, if you get a piece of lead, you feel it on your teeth, you put it out and you put it on a plate. I've had rabbit stew and game stew, pheasant and pigeon and rabbit stew. And, there's a ring of lead pellets on the plate. But what happens if you use steel? If you bite into steel shot, that's like biting into ball bearings. It's going to break your teeth. And then obviously if you do swallow lead shot, it'll go straight through you. But if you have steel shot, that'll go right through you as well. But what happens if you've got to go for an MRI scan? You couldn't do it. There's a lot that people aren't thinking about. So, if they can sell lead shot pigeon to the restaurants in London, why can they not sell pheasants? I don't know the answer. I'm only thinking aloud here. But I think we've got double standards. We've got game shooters being told they're not allowed to shoot big bags, and we've got pigeon shooters, we're praising them for shooting big bags. The world's going crazy. And if you are a pigeon shooter, if you shoot 20 or 30 birds in a day, brilliant. But you think, if you shoot 100 or 200 birds in a day, you are stopping your shooting, because there's going to be less birds the next time you go out. So is it not better to shoot 20 or 30 birds every time you go out, so you get more shooting, than to shoot all the birds and have nothing at all? We had that round here. We had a guy here, and he would shoot every Wednesday and every Saturday. And he was a pigeon guide, allegedly a pigeon guide. But we didn't have the number of pigeons around this area to warrant it, because they changed the crops. This was a big wheat growing area at one stage, and everybody had wheat, and we had loads of pigeons. And now they've gone on to maize and to rape. So we get a big shooting day in February, when the pigeons are on the rape, when we got the frost. And that's horrible, pigeon shooting. Pigeon shooting should be like fly fishing, done in the summer, when it's nice weather. And it's bloody cold. And we keep the pigeons off the rape. That's fair enough. But when it comes up, when the rape's cut, they leave stubble about 6 inches high. Pigeons don't want to come in and land on it. Very difficult to shoot pigeons on rape stubble. Well, that's my finding anyway. And on the maize, we get a couple of days when they sow the seed at the beginning of the season. And that's mainly, we have a crow shoot then, a rook shoot. Because the rooks come in and they'll walk along and pick the grain out. So we have a couple of days on the rooks, on the farm, and then we don't shoot then until the maize is cut in end of September, October. And then we get another couple of days on the rooks and crows and jackdaws. And maybe a few pigeons. I normally shoot a mixed decoys on a maize stubble. Anyway, Ian's thoughts for the day. Little chat. That's my chat over and done with. And if we're going to promote shooting, we really have to think. You know, we've got to support each other. We can't have dual standards by saying, oh, you can't shoot big bags on one hand, and then, oh, yeah, brilliant, you've had a big bag day. So, think. We've got a lot of people there that are after us, including our own shooting organisations now. They've all signed up to this voluntary withdrawal of lead. Absolute bollocks. Somebody's got to fight this, and we're doing it. Ian Summerall, Country Sports TV, and now the campaign to save lead shot. SOS to all shooters, save our lead shot. And if you can help, here's a little advert. Country Sports TV is campaigning to save our lead shot. And as such, we've produced a number of items that you can buy to help raise money to run a website and to help me do the videos. We've got a camo hat for Country Sports TV if you want to go pigeon shooting. We've got a Save Our Lead Shot camo hat. We have a blue Save Our Lead Shot baseball cap. And you can also choose 6 other colours if you go onto eBay. We also have a mug in 2 sizes. It's got Country Sports TV on the front and then Save Our Lead Shot on both sides. Added to this, we've now got an enamelled mug, and very good quality one for Save Our Lead Shot. There is a donation in the price for the Save Our Lead Shot campaign. And what we're going to do next is we're going to produce some button badges. Save Our Lead Shot button badges. It's not worth me selling one at a time because I'm going to have to charge you 70 or 80 pence postage. And they're only £2 each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to produce them in 5s and 10s and put them on eBay. And if you buy 5, you can sell 4 of them to your friends and get some of your money back. Thank you very much for helping sponsor me. I can't do this on my own. And if anybody would like to help the campaign, please let me know. Message me on Facebook on the Save Our Lead Shot page, or message me privately on Facebook. No problem at all. Ian, Save Our Lead Shot campaign through Country Sports TV, saying thank you very much for your help.